Red and yellow and pink and green, purple and orange and blue. I can sing a rainbow, sing a rainbow, sing a rainbow too.
Patricia Louise Peters was born on January 26, 1927, in Fairbury, Nebraska, to Howard H.F. Peters, a teacher, and Eleanor McNichol Peters, a nurse. She had an older sister, Peggy, now deceased. In 1938, the Peters family moved to our Great Central Valley, where H.F. had found a position as an agriculture instructor in Carruthers. Soon afterward, in 1941, the family moved to Stockton, which they found a more attractive place to live. Patty Lou Peters, the talented singer, actress, and patron of the arts we now know as Patty Fensterwald, first took to the stage as an 8th grader in Carruthers, playing Snow White. At Stockton High School, where she graduated in 1944, she discovered what would become a lifelong interest in singing and music. She sang with Frank Thornton Smith's Stockton High School Troubadours and performed with the Irv Corin and Ziggy Elman bands. She also held the office of Student Body Vice President beside another Bravo recipient, George Malloy, who served as president. Patty attended College of the Pacific with majors in music and drama, where she studied acting under the renowned DeMarcus Brown and music with J. Russell Bodley and his a cappella choir. After graduation in 1948, she continued an additional year at COP to complete a teaching credential. She was a member of Epsilon Lambda Sigma sorority and holds the distinction of being the first Miss Stockton in 1947. She also had great success singing with a Stan Reams band during college, but followed her father's wishes, refusing an offer to relocate to Hollywood with a band. In 1948, Patty married Don Marlette. During that 13-year union in Stockton, she taught for 3 years at the then brand-new Garfield School. She was also active in junior aid, performing in their annual Follies productions, and connected with Stockton Civic Theater, where she was cast in Dark at the Top of the Stairs and received a Willie Award for her role as Miss Adelaide in Guys and Dolls. After parting ways with Don Marlette, Patty moved with her 3 children to San Francisco. While living as a single mom in the city, Patty was introduced at a party to a prominent Washington, D.C. attorney who made frequent business trips to the West Coast. His name was Bernard Bud Fensterwald. Bud courted Patty cross-country, and they were married in 1966 in Virginia. Patty and Bud Fensterwald decided to live in Virginia, and they established their family with 4 children living at home, Patty's 3 children and Bud's son. Today, the family includes Patrick and Mary Marlette, David Marlette and Vicky, daughter Maggie and her husband Robert Cox, and Bernie Fensterwald Jr. and his wife Beth, along with 8 grandchildren. On the East Coast, the Fensterwalds were a very busy couple. Bud opened a private law practice after serving many years as an attorney for senators in the United States State Department. Patty spent much of her time as a mother and for 8 years as the owner of an antique shop. In addition, she found time to volunteer with a founding group of the Kennedy Center, where she served as the first chair of the Friends of Kennedy Center, a 400-member women's group. She also chaired THIS, the Hospitality and Information Service for Embassy staff. She was a founding member of the D.C. Women's Museum, and with Bud, worked with the Alexandria Y. Based on her love of music, it's not surprising that for many years, Patty also sang and performed with the Alexandria Community Singers, a group that increased from 8 to 120 members during her involvement. The couple maintained their primary family home in Alexandria, but many of the family's happiest memories are at their lake vacation home. After Bud's passing at age 69 in 1991, Patty sold her Virginia properties and rejoined 2 of her children who lived on the other coast, once again settling in her old hometown of Stockton. Right after her children and grandchildren, Patty's main priorities are her purebred Cavalier King Charles Spaniels. Or do we have that in the right order? She first fell in love with these beautiful dogs on a trip to England with Bud, began breeding them in 1980, and at times has had as many as 8 Cavaliers living in her home at one time. These days, Patty's as busy as ever. Her social capers date book is filled with countless ventures. Among a wide variety of causes that interest her, Patty has volunteered with Stockton Beautiful, the Opera Guild, and Hagen Museum. She has served on the board of Stockton Civic Theater as well as the board of Cavaliers West. She's an enthusiastic supporter of the symphony, the opera, and the Stockton Art League. One of her most enjoyable activities is her weekly coffee with Stockton's Thursday Girls. She's also traveled around the world, carrying forward the love of faraway places that began while married to Bud. As we recognize Patty Fensterwald this evening, we are all inspired by her devotion to the arts, to Stockton Civic Theater, and to a wide variety of other worthy causes in our community. We are honored to present her with the 2008 Marion Jacobs Exemplar Award.